Some big breaking coming in from Karnataka. 14-day judicial custody for Kannada actor Ragini Dwivedi. Another starry tantrum by Ragini, now complains of back pain. 2-day judicial custody for Sanjana. This is quite a serious case here, it appears, considering that Ragini twice over has been refused bail. This time around, her bail hearing that happened just a little while ago. 14-day judicial custody has been again granted by the court. In fact, Ragini now will have to stay 14 more days in custody. This is right at a time when Ragini is trying hard to get bail. Now, Ragini, on the other hand, has also been throwing some tantrums, saying that she's complaining of back pain. She says that she can't stay longer, considering she has back pain, but nonetheless, her bail has been quashed. She's been granted to 14 days judicial custody. 2-day judicial custody for Sanjana on that front. Nolan Pinto joining us for more details on that. Nolan, take us through Ragini Dwivedi now to get another 14-day judicial custody. She's going to stay in custody for 14 more days. This collectively amounts to close to a month that she's going to be in custody. I just want to know, what are the allegations against her? This is just based on WhatsApp text exchanges that her name has come up and she's been arrested, while Sanjana, on the other hand, gets 2-day judicial custody. What's really going on? Is this because Ragini tried to manipulate and tamper with her drug test samples?
Well, in fact, Nabila, today was the final day of their police custody. It got over. Now, everyone was eagerly waiting to see what really happens in the first ACMM. So, the information is this, that it looks like the police had done questioning Ragini, and that's one of the reasons why now the court has actually granted 14-day judicial custody, which means Ragini Dwivedi will be sent to the Parapana Agrahara Central Prison. However, the police are not done with Sanjana, because the CCB has got 2 more days of custody of Sanjana, and then we have to see what really happens. Now, we have seen all along that both Ragini as well as Sanjana have not been cooperating with the CCB police. We have seen how they tried to actually mix water with their urine samples. We have seen how, when they went for the dope test, how they started to argue until the police actually had to show a court order saying that you are supposed to actually follow this and do a dope test, so on and so forth. Now what we are told is this, that Ragini, while she goes to the Parapana Agrahara Central Prison, the police will not question her there. But Sanjana, on the other hand, will still be under the control of the CCB police. Looks like they still have a lot more questioning, a lot more questions that are unanswered, and a lot of materials that they have seized from her home to look into. Now, Nabila, you also asked this question about on what basis are they looking at Ragini. Now, Ragini, we must remember, was actually detained and arrested first before Sanjana. And this is because of her link with Ravi, who actually works as an RTO, a person in the RTO. Now, Indrajit Lankesh, in fact, whom we spoke to, he's the one who actually stated that movie actors are all linked in this, and he brought out these names. And that's one of the reasons how from Ravi they actually managed to get her name. We still do not know what all material they have seized, what is the information they have, but we have to wait for that.
Right, Nolan, from what we see here, there are a couple of more names that are being pulled up. We heard Andrita Ray's name as well being mentioned, doing the rounds. There are several people who are currently in the dock, but somehow appears that only women are in the forefront of this investigation. Somehow they've been zeroed down upon by the CCB. Any word on that? That's the kind of reaction coming in from Sandalwood as well, particularly women in Sandalwood saying that why only women have been targeted. What about the others who are under scanner? No summons to them. They've been allowed to stay, to wait, given that much time to all those people who are, even though their names are with the CCB, they have not been summoned as yet, which clearly gives them ample time to destroy any evidence, if at all there is.
In fact, this has been oftenly asked over here, Nabila. Both the Commissioner of Police as well as the Home Minister have actually stated that it's not just Sandalwood industry, because as of now, he say, while the media is only focusing on Sandalwood industry, they say that drug peddlers have also been arrested. They also say that businessmen have been arrested, which no one's talking about. They say that based on evidence, they are going about their work in a meticulous manner. It is very unfortunate now that these two actors, basically Ragini and Sanjana, who have been caught, but the police and the Home Minister very clearly stated that others are also there. They are being looked into, but the police cannot just jump and arrest anyone. They need evidence. In Ragini and Sanjana's case, they managed to secure evidence. This is what the police actually tell us, and that's one of the reasons why they were detained and then arrested, and their houses also were searched.
Right. What now? We hear that Ragini Dwivedi has been throwing some tantrums, Nolan. She's been complaining of back pain. We saw how she tried to tamper with the drug tests as well, mixed water with urine and gave it to the authorities there. They've quickly found out and sent it back. So it appears clearly that Ragini's bail has been quashed merely because, more importantly, only because she tried to tamper with evidence. That's what it appears. And even Sanjana, they're throwing tantrums, saying that she wouldn't give a test. She wouldn't want to give a test until she speaks with her lawyers. Eventually, she was forced into it. So what's with the tantrums that both of them are trying to throw? If they're innocent, then they might as well go in for the test, ain't it?
Nabila, this is what everyone wanted to know. If you have nothing to hide, then there's no necessity of any tantrums. If the police want a dope test, please go ahead. If they want to take your hair follicles, please go ahead. If they want to take your urine samples, please go ahead. Only if you're guilty and you have something to hide will you actually throw these tantrums. But then again, we do not know why they did this. What we're also hearing from the police is that the police have videographed all their tantrums. It could have been actually given to the first ACMM judge over here. So we do not know if this could be one of the reasons why the judge would have actually denied them bail, citing the reason, this is what the CCB would have done, that if they secure bail, they might destroy or destroy the evidences or whatever material is left outside that the CCB has not yet got its hands on. So that's one of the reasons why Ragini has now been sent to 14-day judicial custody, and Sanjana will still be there for 2 days with the CCB where she'll be questioned.
Right, Nolan, do stay with us. This is the information that we get here. 14-day judicial custody for Kannada actor Ragini Dwivedi. And this comes even as she throws some starry tantrums there, saying that she's got back pain and she can't stay any longer. Ragini Dwivedi, nonetheless, her bail plea has been quashed. She's now been pushed to another 14-day judicial custody. And this Sanjana, in the meanwhile, on the other hand, gets 2-day judicial custody. 2-day custody for Sanjana, while it is 14-day judicial custody for Ragini Dwivedi. Remember, their drug tests have been taken. The samples have been sent. Even their hair follicles, apart from the urine, has been sent to a lab in Hyderabad. And this will be checked and to see if at all they have consumed narcotic substances. This is the question here. Nolan, if you are there, take us through the punishment, if at all, for consuming. If in fact, right here, the CCB is trying to find out if Sanjana and Ragini have consumed drugs in the last 5 months. That's the focus of this investigation here. But do we feel, does it look like the priorities of the CCB is lost here? They're ideally supposed to be cracking down on the nexus, not on whether someone is consuming drugs. This is more like name and shame is what we see here altogether, more than actually checking on the supply chain.
Nabila, what we have been seeing of late is this, that the Bengaluru Police Commissionerate, basically the East Zone and the Southeast Zone, I remember when we went over there last week, they had seized about 145 kgs of ganja over there, along with various other narcotic substances and synthetic drugs. You had LSD strips, you had meth, you had crystals, everything was there. Then few days later, we have seen, not just in Bengaluru, but across the state, the police are on high alert. They have been actually going to villages, searching for weed, ganja plants. They have been destroying them. They have been seizing. So the police are going about and doing their work, yes. But the point is this, it's very simple. Consumption and peddling of ganja, especially in Bengaluru and Mysuru and Mangaluru, is not from today or yesterday or the past 1 month.
Absolutely, Nolan. This is a known fact. It's happening, and why Bengaluru, Mangaluru, or anywhere else? It's happening across the country, across of India. very accessible marijuana, hashish and several other drugs as they call it. Now we have more information coming in from Karnataka. The former Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy now making some big claims, saying that drugs is used widely in Bengaluru. It's very much available and people are using it in pubs and bars. He says that local 5 stars and Bengaluru bars are drug dens. This is Kumaraswamy's opinion there, saying that drugs is used widely in Bengaluru's pubs and bars, and star hotels and local 5-star hotels there across Bengaluru are dens, drug dens. Cutting across to Nolan. Nolan, take us through Kumaraswamy's statement here. He's made a blanket statement saying drugs is consumed across of Bengaluru restaurants and hotels. In fact, 5-star hotels as well. They're like drug dens. We do know that parties take place across the Bengaluru city, or most of the pubs are generally frisking those people who enter those clubs, pubs, bars. But here, Kumaraswamy's statement really, of course, reminds us on what possibly could be on ground, which the police has been overlooking.
ಈ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಸಿನೋ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವೇನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಯಾಸಿನೋ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ಈ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ನಡೀತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ನೈಟ್ ಬಾರ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುಶಃ ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಲ್ಯ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ರಾತ್ರಿ 12 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತಲೇ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಹಲವಾರು ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ 5 ಗಂಟೆವರೆಗೂ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಬಾರ್ಗಳು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥ ದಂಧೆಗಳು ನಡೀತದೆ.
Cutting across to Nolan on that. Nolan, take us through here. We saw what's Kumaraswamy's opinion here is that bars, pubs, restaurants, everywhere, drugs is widely consumed. People are consuming it openly. These are drug dens. What prompts Kumaraswamy to say something like this? A blanket statement that he makes.
Nabila, we must remember that one of the accused in this Anwar drug case, his name is Viren Khanna. Now, everyone knows how famous Viren Khanna is if you have attended his parties in Bengaluru. He was arrested. In fact, the CCB officers went to Delhi, brought him back over here to Bengaluru. Everyone in Bengaluru, most of the people have already attended his parties over here, friends with expats, so on and so forth. The who's who in Bengaluru always attend his parties, and his parties do take place in all these 5-star restaurants. Now, what Kumaraswamy is saying is this: when he was the chief minister, he says his 14 months, he actually instructed honest officers to go about and look into this particular issue. And that is why he says he believes that the drug-related activities, sale, consumption, peddling of drugs, takes place in all these 5-star hotels. He talks about these pubs, and he says many of them are open right from 11 o'clock in the night till 5 in the morning, and all these activities take place over there. And he says he reminisces about a time when he was actually passing by Malya Road, and he actually questions and says, I believe that I was wondering whether I was in India or in another country. That is how it was. So this is his particular statement, that dance bars, that bars that are open illegally till 5 in the morning, this is where all the illegal activities take place in the city. And this is what the police need to look into, even though they know about it.
Right, Nolan, thank you very much for joining us with all those details here. Karnataka, the drug scandal only getting murkier, with now the former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy coming forward to say that pubs, bars, restaurants, hotels or drugs are widely used across of these places in Bengaluru. These are drug dens. That's what Kumaraswamy calls it. This comes even when the CCB is now cracking down on many names, top names, high-profile names within Karnataka.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.